How to grow from being a victim to becoming a victor. So, I've spoken already about being grateful and expressing gratitude. I've spoken about being self loving, loving yourself. And this is ongoing. Today, I love myself more than I loved myself yesterday. And if tomorrow, which is not promised to me, if tomorrow comes for me, I will love myself more tomorrow than I do today. Every day in every way, I am getting better and better. And so are you. Every day in every way, you are getting better and better. You know, someone shared with me that things don't happen to you, they happen for you. That's right. They don't happen to you, they happen for you. And it's a flip in the perspective, you know? It's like you've heard the saying, you see this bottle right here? Okay, it's not quite half, but people will say, is it half empty or is it half full? And some people will say, oh, it's half empty. And other people will say, it's half full. But I kind of shared with you once upon a time that there's more than two perspectives. They have us thinking everything's divided. It's black or it's white, but there's gray in between. And there's more than 50 shades of gray. See what I did there? So, I'm looking at this bottle and I'm saying to myself, is it half empty or is it half full? And guess what? I concluded it's full. It's got air and it's got water. It's full. If I pour the water out, it's still full because it's full of air. Yeah. Think about it. Think about everything. Question everything. It doesn't hurt. Question God. He ain't offended. I don't particularly choose to believe in God because everyone believes in God and everyone's own God is different. So I choose to know the divine consciousness and the divine energies. That's the title I choose to give them. Because the divine energies and the divine consciousness is everywhere and everything and everyone. So the divine consciousness is aware of everything. People say God knows everything. It's a word, but I choose to use divine consciousness. My choice. And along those lines, there's so many people hung up on whether what you're believing is true or it's not true. It's not your business. I get to know what I get to know. And I can share, and you can accept or you can decline. It's your choice. I'm not trying to control you. I'm busy trying to control myself. And sometimes, got that bag of potato chips, that control kind of slips away, slipping into darkness. You know what I mean? So don't give me a pint of ice cream and then say you can't eat it all, because you know what? I can do what I choose to do. But when I'm loving myself, I'm going to make the most loving choice I can make. And like I said, it's day by day, step by step, moment by moment. So, I'm not going to beat up on myself. That's another indication of self-love. I'm not going to beat up on myself if the decision I made wasn't in my best interest when I made it. But I can acknowledge that I made it. I can acknowledge that it might not have been in my best interest. And I can acknowledge that I will do better the next time. Solved. And so don't beat up on yourself. Be patient with yourself. You be patient with your friends, patient with your mom, patient with your kids, or you should be anyway. Be patient with yourself. They say that forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you. Okay, I would like to recommend that if there's anyone or anything in your life that has you feel you've wronged, that you could try the Ho'oponopono technique. It's a Hawaiian technique, forgiveness. H-O''O-P-O Ho'opono O-P-O-N-O-N-O. Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. Anyway, you have to forgive yourself. And a lot of the trauma will have left you in a mindset where you may be inclined to perfectionism. You may be inclined to be very hard on yourself. Sort of in imitation to the people that were hard on you, you're also hard on yourself. Harder on yourself than they were even. That's falling short of loving yourself. You must learn to forgive yourself. If you made a choice yesterday and today it turns out that wasn't a good choice, don't beat up on yourself because you made that choice. When you made that choice with all the information you had at that time. As a result of making the choice and experiencing something less than what you desired, you now know that's not the best choice for you. So you learned a lesson. It didn't happen to you, it happened for you. Take that step up on the ladder. Otherwise, you're going to stay down on that ladder and you're going to stay down on yourself. You see how that works? I've shared with some people to reflect upon their lives and look at those moments in time that caused them so much distress. And they tell me they can't do it because it's painful. True enough, it is painful. However, that reminds me of a story. So I was working with a woman once who admitted that she stubbed her toe on the bathtub. And it was painful. And she put up with the pain for about 2 weeks until she couldn't bear it any longer. She went to the doctor only to discover that she had broken her toe. But her failure to address the break when it occurred resulted in the bone mending improperly, which was going to be painful for the remainder of her life. And guess what the doctor prescribed? Re-breaking her foot. Re-breaking the toe so he could set it properly. You see how that works? So you had a traumatic experience. It was painful. It didn't set appropriately because you still feel the pain. It needs to be rebroken. You need to feel the pain again so you can set it right. This is Dr. Bankhead at The Struggle in Thinking Out Loud. I'll see you in the next video. I'm grateful for I am fully great.